Welcome back to Random TV Reviews. I'm your girl, Annette.
I'm your boy, Stanley. You delusional tonight, ain't you?
Tyler has done it once again. We did not know that he could do this twice in a row the way that he did. Now, instead of having 30 minutes of my life that I can't get back, I feel like I had 55 minutes of my life that I will never be able to get back. I felt like I was in Tyler Perry World / Bible study because it was named The Wages of Sin. Get into it.
Please do.
We're going to make it as short as we can because we don't have much to
I'm sick of Brad and this guy still in this interrogation room. He said he didn't freaking do it.
Well, he said he didn't do it. Then he said I did it. Then he said I didn't kill that baby, but I killed some babies in Iraq.
I was just only following orders. My captain told me to kill him, so I killed him. Which is true. They do be killing kids over in the wars and stuff, which is so sad because children are innocent. Some of them are. Cause they said some of them be walking around with bombs and AK-47. They'll took and kill you.
So then Stephen gonna look at his Brad and say, "Look, you a man of faith. What your Bible say and all this kind of stuff."
Yeah.
And Brad was looking at him like, "I ain't never."
No, I ain't never heard Brad say he was a man of faith.
I ain't either. Did y'all?
I know Brad to kick some A. But I ain't never heard him say he was a man of faith.
So he come on, son. You know what your Bible say and stuff like that.
He say you gotta confess. You know, confession is good for you. You gotta confess.
So then he was like, you know, I know your wife running around with this black man and did a whole lot to you. You could talk to me about it. He said, look, it ain't got nothing to do with him being a black man. It's just the fact that my wife ran around with a man.
Yeah, trying to play the racist card on him.
I said,
come on now.
So finally, Brad came to his freaking senses, like we all said last week, was why are you talking to them without a lawyer? So then he finally said, look, I ain't saying nothing else to you until I get my attorney in here.
Yeah.
So, of course, Stephen has to back on off. But he goes out there and get old. What the name is?
I think his name is Jerome.
Jerome.
I think it's Jerome.
The black cop.
But shoot.
Go tell him to come in there and stand guard and see if he just
Brad said, I got to go call Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson need to come up here and represent me.
I don't like Jesse Jackson.
Al Sharpton?
I don't like him either. I just don't.
Who he gonna call?
Anybody but them two. Anybody but them two. So then we're back over there where the girls are at, and Marcy is talking about how it's all her fault because now she realized she made a mistake. That after she talked to Brad, she heard in his voice that he ain't really do this bullshit. It all was a misunderstanding. She don't really know what happened, but all she know is Brad didn't do this. She telling the girls was like, no, you know, yeah, da, da. And then here come Kelly talking about, my mama told me
that the wages of sin is death.
And it was like, what?
What you mean by that?
She was like, meaning the death of all things good. Look at all this. 2 people committed one sin and caused all this hell.
This crap.
I said, that sound like the gun eating to me.
Yeah. So you took a bite of Brad and Randall took a bite of Alex. Now we got all this bullshit going on.
So now they still talking. And Espresso called up to the police station, got the information about what's going on with Brad. About how he was being interrogated. He asked for a lawyer. So Kelly was like, but that means he's guilty. I'm like, Kelly, you black.
I got a problem with that.
What?
How is it that you are a 911 supervisor, but you can call a police station to get details on a freaking murder crime?
On a what?
On a murder crime.
On a what now?
Seeing that if you got a murder going on in your family, they don't even want to give you no information. If you family.
Never lie.
But you got her as a total stranger to the family. She can call up there and get all the information that she needs.
And report it right on back to her. But
yeah, report the information right on back like it ain't nothing. Oh, he up there being interrogated. Where they do that at?
There.
Yeah.
That's where they do that at.
Tyler Perry Studios.
So then Espresso, for the first time ever, I'll say ever, she actually had a brilliant theory.
Yeah.
And it was right. She said, you know what, Kelly? Come outside with me for a minute. Walk me out. I don't think Brad did this. I know who did this. Them goddamn parents.
Yep. Rusty.
And Virginia.
Yep.
So Kelly was like, no, they wouldn't have did it. Like she said, you remember when we was laying up in Alex's bed And she told us that she would do anything to protect her son. Now, Shimmery Lights never said Brad did it.
Nah,
Shimmery Lights said the man next door.
Which would have been true, because he was next door.
She said, no doubt about it, them parents had something to do with it. And if we don't do something about this here baby, man, it's going to be some skid on our hands. But Espresso said, but Kelly, I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm going to get in trouble. Okay, wait a minute. This is why I got a problem with you, Espresso. You don't have a problem.
Get her.
Going around telling everybody business, going into and getting information that you don't have no business getting.
Get her.
But now all of a sudden, now that you can say with baby life, that ain't none of my business. I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden you all goody two shoes and you
want to go by the book.
Yeah, by the book, by the law. By
you ain't say that when you got Claudia and tried to get her fired. I said, okay, whatever. So she goes outside. They got doing. Eddie is still sitting outside.
There. He's supposed to be at the Blue Ridge Mountains, ain't he?
Any excuse for her to talk to Eddie, she's gonna take it. So she goes over to Eddie and asks him where Virginia and Rusty live at.
No. She said he asked her to know which way you think she drove out of here to go to the house. Like he gonna know which way she went. He said, I ain't no freaking he said old GPS.
I thought he said, I'm not a whole GPS. I thought that's what he said.
He could have said it.
So he said, I'll tell you what, you made a left on Hillbilly Road, a right on Crackerwood Parkway, and a right somewhere.
We said Redneck Lane at the end of Redneck Lane.
He said, hell, I don't know. Now, this, Addie, stop playing. Because you told us that y'all cousins.
Yeah.
You don't know where your uncle and them live at?
Yeah, you know where they live at.
They been living in the same place since y'all were little.
But you know he protecting Brad, see.
Yeah, he protecting Brad, so that's the only thing that I can say about Eddie is when he ride or die,
he ride or die.
I can't say that about him. So then they got doing Kelly talking about some look at here, Eddie, I ain't scared of you because by this time he talking mad skit to Kelly and Espresso. Kelly said, look, I ain't Espresso. I ain't scared of you. He said, look at here. Look here. You ain't gonna be talking to me because all the men that you got in your life, they be all jacked up. Said you got to be a bad son of a bee to make a black man run to Utah.
They went to Utah. I said, I don't think that was a part of the script. It could have been a part of the script.
Then we saw Alice. She got out the big rig with old boy. He said, this as far as I can take you. I said, you couldn't take her to a stop sign? Stop light?
He dropped off in the middle of nowhere.
Where them killer clowns are.
Yeah, that's where she got dropped off at. He told us, I'm so sorry.
But I got to make me some money.
You know, I don't mean to drop you pretty little lady off out here.
I said, if you don't get up out that truck, because that man, I know, he ain't did nothing so far, but don't pressure got doing luck.
He like he could possibly be suspect.
So then we see Pete. Now this is where it really started getting good.
Yeah, started getting some pieces filled in.
Pete wakes up. Why the nurse came in there and pretty much tackled him?
Yeah, push her back down.
You need to get down.
You need to get down. I'm gonna call the doctor.
And the doctor ain't as nice as I am. I said, well, god darn.
You ain't nice right now. Yeah, you might be smiling and all that stuff, but you pushing the ball down.
Tell me something, you got a bullet still lodged in your chest and you need to lay down. I said. And he said, what happened to me? I said, you been shot. Well, who shot me?
Who shot me?
I don't know. Who shot you?
Yeah.
Like the song said, who shot you?
Biggie Mom said, who shot you?
So, Ben falls back to sleep. Is it Ben? Pete,
not Ben.
Yeah, Pete falls back to sleep, and he started having a dream, and everything became
it's all
clear.
a dream. Used to read hip hop magazine.
Word up. All of it came back to him. He knew what happened to him, and he saw that Ben pretty much stood by and let him get shot. Okay. So now the nurse is all pissed off because she see his vitals and stuff going off, but he managed to call Lucian. He called Lucian and he told Lucian everything. He said, look, I know who shot me. It was a whole gang of black dudes. And that guy doing Ben sat around and watched him do it. And he told him about the guy doing tape. Yep. He said, so Lucian said, did you actually watch the tape? He said, yeah, I watched the tape. Eddie shot off guy doing Ben's hand. He said, I took that tape and I gave it to Natalie. He said, well, is that the only copy you had? He said, no, I had another copy. I gave it to the captain. He said, so what did the captain say he was going to do? He said, the captain said, I'll take care of it.
and sent me to the south side.
And he said, that's when I got all shot up.
Yep.
So Lucia's sitting over there like, okay, all right. This the game we want to play. So they got doing not Ben. God, why would keep
Pete,
because we ain't seen him in so goddamn long.
Yeah.
Pete
been
was
about
like
5 episodes.
Pete said, look, I need to get up out of here because there's a dude sitting outside my door and I don't know who he is. They're gonna come in here and they're gonna finish the job off. Lucia said, look, no. That's good. FBI.
Yeah, you straight.
He been planted there. By who?
Said somebody.
Just somebody.
Somebody planting them there. Yeah, you good.
Just good. I said, okay. So by this time, here come the nurse. Look at your vitals. Look at you.
Look at what's going on.
And she takes.
And give him some sleeping medicine.
He said, I'm not going to sleep.
She said, yes, you are.
Not going to sleep. Next thing we know, he started drifting off. He calls the nurse on the goddamn thing. Doo-doo. Nurse, I'm not asleep. I said, Pete, stop playing. Really, don't do that. So she talking about something. Yes, you are. You're going to sleep. Probably like 3, 2, 1. Lights out.
Gone.
We'll get back to him at a little later date. So now we see Natalie. She's still sitting there trying to figure out what's going on with her son. They see the doctor finally comes out and talks to another couple. Evidently, they didn't get good news because they left him out of there crying. So right then and there, Natalie was like, "Oh hell, this doctor on a death streak tonight.
Yep.
He don't the killer doctor because usually when they have one death, they got him in 3.
Yes,
that's what they say. In the emergency room. Well, the doctor comes over and tells Natalie, look, it don't look good. Your son got a less than a 12% chance of survival. If he survives through the night, the chances go up.
That he
but he was shot at his rib cage. The fragments shattered and did damage to his liver and his heart. So then they started talking about, the doctor said, well, I know this is not a good time to ask you this. And Lucia knew right then and there.
He was like, He was like, it's all good.
Natalie said, no. Tell me. What you want to tell me? Lucia said they want to talk to you about organ donation. I said, let's go ahead and educate Tyler. Let's go ahead and do what you got to do.
Throw it on out there.
So the doctor was like, look, your son was pretty healthy. He could save a whole lot of lives. 12 that I can count right here in this hospital. So if he were to happen to pass away, his organs would save some lives. Solution goes into, when I was serving, I lost a lot of good people because
No, you got to back up. Because she asked a good question.
No, I'm going to get to it. I know it. Because it was after that.
I want to throw it out there right now.
I know you do. It's going to be all right.
Okay.
It's going to be okay.
Calm me down.
So, Lucia said, look, when I was in battle or whatever, I had a whole lot of people that I lost because people, and especially black people, we do not do organ donation. So
that's true.
And it is true. Kind of convicted because I took mine off my driver's license.
Me too. So it got me, hit me right between my eyes. Boom.
I ain't putting mine back on my driver's license though, because you know why? Because we done been in the hospital system so much and seen so much bullshit that when they know that's on your freaking record, it's almost like, it's not that they don't try, but they have another option.
Yeah.
For your,
they got
your
somebody
organs.
else be like,
so it's almost like
you got 12% and that person got a 50%.
So bye.
To hell with you.
Said put your organs on ice and move them over to room C. So that's why I did it, because I have experience in that area. But
I got something else I want to say once you get to the question she asked.
So she said, how many of these kids in here, these young people in here, are black? He said, I'm not sure. She said, find out.
He knew.
Oh, he knew.
He knew. You've been operating on how you know they was here. You've been the one that's operating on, so you know what color they are.
She said, let me tell you something. What you're not going to do is, you're not going to sacrifice my black son to save the lives of these rich, uppity, white children that's in here. That's what you're not going to do.
Yep.
So you go find out who's going to be the recipient of my son's organs.
Yes.
Because Lucian just don't put her up on game that a whole lot of us die because we don't have matches for organ donation.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that if my son's organs are in great shape and there is such a need in the black community for organ donation, who will get them?
Yep.
Riddle me that.
Riddle me that. Then also, organs are worth a lot of money. So they
certainly
be taking
black men's organs. Y'all read up on it.
Yeah, so they be taking our organs and selling them for thousands of dollars. It's big business. Look it up, like my wife said. Look it up.
Look it up.
Look it up.
So what else happened on that? Well, that was basically it.
They know demonized.
Yeah.
Devil in hell. Eddie.
But we're still trying to figure out, was Eddie actually in the room or was he hallucinating? Because he had the sedative in his system. Because I'm sitting here like, FBI is at the door.
Yeah.
Did nobody school FBI? Certainly if Lucian was the one who planted him there. Yeah. I'm quite sure that Lucian put FBI up on game that one right there don't let him nowhere near Pete.
You know, don't go get no sandwich. Don't go take no skit. Don't take
piss on yourself.
Yeah, you sit there until I tell you can leave.
So, basically at this point,
so we don't.
I don't know if it's real or what.
Yeah, we don't even know.
But here the scene of all scenes. Finally, we see Randall. Now,
still in the box.
He's still in the box, but now he got blood on him. Where it come from?
Yeah, what happened?
Because he ain't had blood on him this whole time.
Cause yeah, I remember they poured something down in the box. So I don't know what they poured down.
I thought they poured gasoline on him, so he could start lighting that light up. So they they lifted old Randall up, and I said, oh, they about to let him out the box. Only to see them drop him off in the middle of the woods. Boom! And he still beat. Bah, 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 and we can hear the baby. And I even heard Rusty say, you know, here, take the baby or something like that.
Yeah. Which
was something crazy. And Randall hit his way up out of the goddamn box, bust his way up out of there, only to get a shovel right to the face. Boom! And that's basically where we left off at, so.
I'm still pissed off. It's moving too slow.
I'm done.
You got to speed this train up. Madea Halloween came out Friday. So we need this thing to pick up.
Quickly.
We need to start rocking on them two scenes. I don't want to see no more interrogation room. I don't want to see Alex them over Kelly them over at the house talking about Brad.
I want to hear about Ramsey, where he at.
I want Ramsey. I want Randall out of the box.
I want to see the baby.
I want to see what's going on with the baby.
And I want Shimmering Lights to talk.
Yeah. Come through with it.
And I'm done.
Come through with it.
But for you all that have asked for the behind the scenes, we're actually shooting that now. You will not get that tonight because that needs to be edited.
Yeah.
But it'll probably be up by Friday.
Yeah, hopefully.
So the behind the scenes of how all of this comes together, whatever. We were hoping to give you a better review than this, but I can't give you what Tyler don't give me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So we did our best that we could give to you, as always. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And
check out the rest of the family members that review this show.
Exactly.
James, Natural Pole Sister. I see everybody by face and I can't.
I told you we need to write
charge
it down.
It to my head, not my heart.
Yeah.
All the good folk. Shout yourselves out in the comments if you review the show so people can know that you do the show and they can support you.
Well, we know that Queen Sugar is coming on tomorrow. We're not sure if we're going to do it tomorrow or do it on Thursday. But
we may have to do that one tomorrow.
But we may have to do it tomorrow.
Because we have something to do on Thursday.
That's true. So, straight from the VA.
The dirty, dirty South.
2 up, 2 down. Holla.
Loser, Tyler. Loser.